On the agenda today, the very future of the global economy. That's it. No big deal. The fate of the European Union and of NAFTA as well. From American Public Media, this is Marketplace. In Los Angeles, I'm Ryssdal. Monday, the 20th day of March. Glad you could be with us, everybody, as we always are. By the way, it was a busy day on Capitol Hill today. The Comey-Russia hearings on the House side, the Gorsuch confirmation hearings on the Senate side, news of which is everywhere. We, meanwhile, are going to bring you tomorrow's news today, or more accurately, 2 years from next Wednesday's news. Today, we can do that because this morning, the British government told the European Union that it's going to formally start Brexit negotiations on March 29th. That gives the Brits 2 years to extricate themselves from the EU with, they hope, minimal economic damage. But as Marketplace's Stephen Beard reports from London, it is likely to be 2 years of extremely hard bargaining.
Prime Minister May is touring the UK before triggering the exit talks next week. Today she was in Wales selling the economic benefits of Brexit.
When people voted in the referendum last year, it wasn't just about leaving the EU. I think they did vote for change. Part of that is about building a stronger economy.
The exit talks will decide issues like how much the UK will have to pay to get out of the EU and eventually what will be its new trading relationship with the bloc. If all goes to plan, Britain could be out by March 29, 2019. Richard Tice, a leading Leave campaigner.
Well, obviously we're delighted that we know what day in 2019, finally and delightfully, the United Kingdom will be leaving the European Union.
Not necessarily. The talks could break down. Britain could crash out earlier than scheduled and without a trade deal. Simon Tilford of the Centre for European Reform in Brussels.
There's a real contrast between this rather jaunty optimism of the British government and this sort of rather sceptical mood in Brussels.
The most senior official in Brussels has just said Britain faces a choice: eat what's on the table or don't come to the table at all.
So it's far from obvious that Britain will negotiate as favourable a deal as many think possible.
The first stumbling block could be financial. Brussels negotiators have spoken of Britain paying around $63 billion as an exit fee. The UK government dismissed that figure as laughable. In London, I'm Stephen Beard for Marketplace.
A word here about Uber and how change, while sometimes hard, might be good big picture-wise. The president of Uber is quitting after just 6 months on the job. Former Target executive Jeff Jones says his approach to leadership was, quote, inconsistent with what he experienced at Uber. It's been tough to miss the bad news that company has been hit with: the Delete Uber campaign, allegations of systemic sexual harassment, and a video of CEO Travis Kalanick getting into it with a driver. Marketplace's Amy Scott reports now on startup growing pains.
Founded just 8 years ago as a ride-hailing app, Uber is now worth almost $70 billion. But the Delete Uber campaign, reports of sexual harassment at the company, revelations it used software to dodge law enforcement, have all taken a toll on the brand. Charles Kane is a senior lecturer at MIT's Sloan School of Management.
They have grown so quickly in such a short amount of time that usually the initial management gets overwhelmed.
After the video went viral of Travis Kalanick cursing at an Uber driver, the CEO admitted he needed to grow up and get some leadership help. Uber is searching for a chief operating officer, or COO. Howard Yu at IMD Business School in Switzerland says that's something the aggressive startup had resisted.
The notion of having a COO in charge of regular operation or public affair, it feels a little bureaucratic.
Bringing in a heavy-hitting COO also means ceding some power, which doesn't always come easy to founding entrepreneurs. Lila Bulling-Town is an executive coach who's worked with several Silicon Valley startups.
I think the COO is sometimes hands tied a little because there can sometimes, in my opinion, be a lack of clarity around the difference between the two roles.
That may help explain the departure of Jeff Jones, she says, who as president was serving some of the functions of a COO. I'm Amy Scott for Marketplace.
Wall Street today, stocks were a little bumpy, a little lumpy. We'll have the details when we do the numbers.